One of the easiest ways to improve at chess very rapidly is to master the ability to know where to put your pieces. This is a very important skill, and as you'll see in this video through all these examples I'm going to show you, you will see how putting your pieces on better squares and making their pieces bad ultimately will decide your games. Now this video that I have here has 5 different examples that I'm going to go through and walk you guys through. The last one is very advanced, so try and pay attention throughout this video and try to solve the last one when we get to it before I show the answer. Now this video is designed for beginners, intermediate, and advanced players. There's concepts in this video that I guarantee you will not understand before watching this video, and after watching it you will know how to put your pieces in better places. You'll know where the pieces belong, and hopefully you'll be able to understand what good pieces are or bad pieces are, and you'll be able to avoid them in your own games and use this skill to win more chess games. If you enjoy this content, please consider giving it a like and subscribing. I'd love to have you guys in the community that we have here today. Also, I'm doing private chess coaching. If you're interested in that, check the description, check the comment section. I'll attach a link to my Calendly so you guys can book your first chess session. And as always, if you have any questions, you can always send me an email if you have any questions about the chess coaching. And I do respond to my emails. That's in the About section of my channel. And if you have any questions about this video, I'll answer all the questions too. So just leave a question, leave a comment, and I will answer your all's questions. We'll go ahead and get started. In this first example, now again, this video focuses on good versus bad pieces. And in this example, what we have here, all of our pieces are pretty well developed. The only thing we could improve would be maybe to castle. But castling is actually not the correct move in this position, because what we notice is that their knight is currently attacking our bishop. Now, their knight is not all that great. Their knight is on the edge of the board, and the knights on the rim are dim. That's the phrase that you need to understand, that this knight is not a good piece because it is only controlling a few squares. None of them are really that important. Meanwhile, our bishop is very well placed. Although it's blocked in by this pawn, it is seeing many important squares here, so we want to try and keep our bishop alive. So the move that you play to actually make your bishop even better, because our bishop can actually be in an even better position, is actually to play this move bishop d6, because bishop d6 prevents black from castling and really locks down their position, because now black does not have many moves, and our bishop, although it was going to be captured, is now a very strong piece that they're going to have a tough time removing. Now, onto the second example, I'm going to be teaching you guys about controlling the board. Because what we notice here, we have our rooks very well placed. They're looking on this file here. They cannot play one of these moves because we would simply take their rook. Meanwhile, we also have plans to infiltrate at some point and maybe use our knight too as well. We would like to actually put our knight on this square, which gives us the hint. The move that we want to play to lock in their position is actually to play this move pawn d5. And another reason behind pawn d5 is because if we give them a move, they're actually going to push this pawn, activating their bishop. Because what we notice is currently their bishop is not that great. So if they could play the move pawn d5, all of a sudden their bishop becomes very strong. And we want to lock in their bishop. Now their bishop has no good moves. They still cannot move one of these rooks. And just to kind of show you guys, to go a little further with this, an example line that I want to show you is after we play the move pawn d5, let's say they play a move like rook a7, trying to maybe prevent us from infiltrating, but it does not prevent us. See, they're just trying to improve their position in any way possible. But now in this position, we can still play the move rook b7. And after they exchange, we take back with the pawn, forcing them to go here to stop our promotion. And now you'll see why I said we want our knight on d4. Because now we play knight d4, and no matter what they play, let's just say they play a move like king e8, now we go here, we're attacking these pieces. Their best move, of course, if they move away, we're just going to simply promote. Actually, we would take first, and then we would promote. So their best move is actually to take here, and now, of course, we are completely winning in this position, which shows why when we put our pieces on good squares, when we control the board, and we understand good versus bad pieces, we will win these games. I'm going to go on to the third example. We're going to be talking about overwhelming the defense. Try to understand this position, but what we notice is we both have a bishop, a light squared bishop. However, all their pawns are on light squares. Meanwhile, our pawns are all on dark squares, so this is actually favorable for us. The move we play here is we attack this pawn over here that's undefended. They bring the bishop back, and now what is the move that you play to further improve your bishop and to win this game? The move that you play is actually bishop d3, because now notice we're attacking both of these pawns and they cannot defend them. If they go here to defend this pawn, we will simply take this one. And likewise, if they don't cover either pawn, actually, we're just going to take either one. They can't cover either one. They'd love to put the bishop here, but the king is actually preventing it from protecting this pawn. So we're going to win a pawn no matter what they play. Now, the fourth example, I'm going to be giving you guys an example of a bad bishop and how we can make their pieces bad. Because now that you kind of understand, maybe we want a bishop on this long open diagonal, we want to try and prevent them from having that in themselves. So right now, their bishop is looking on this long diagonal, but we can cut their bishop off by simply playing the move pawn c5, and all of a sudden, black's bishop is horrible. And just a kind of note that I want to point out to you guys, I often teach my students this kind of concept, but when a bishop like this is really bad, when a bishop has to like retreat and they have no, they're only looking at this pawn, for example. Let's just say they go bishop c7 or bishop a7. They're only the only role of this bishop is to look at this pawn. And when a bishop is doing a role like that, when it's knocked out of the game, kind of when it's shut out of the game is another way to say that. Basically, it's almost as if they didn't have the bishop because your knight is very active, still controlling these pieces here, and their bishop is doing nothing. So it's almost like winning material without the actually exchange of material because the bishop is so bad and so poorly placed. And they're going to have to spend a lot of moves just to try and reopen their bishop. Meanwhile, that gives you time to continue your attack. Now, the last one, as I said, is a kind of an advanced concept. And why is this advanced? Because many players understand their own plan. Now that you've watched this video, you know where our pieces should be, and you know how to kind of improve your position. But what many people fail to understand or fail to really master is understanding your opponent's plan. So we want to try and stop their plan is the key hint on this last one. Again, try and solve this before I show it. But what we notice is that they would actually love to play this move bishop c5 because if they play bishop c5, well, they're attacking our undefended bishop. And of course, if we take in that line, their knight becomes out in the middle of the game. Their knight is much, much better. Their queen is a little less trapped in. It can see some of these light squares. And now knowing that their knight will be on c5 after this series of exchanges, they'll also be attacking this pawn. Their position just becomes much better and becomes much more active, which is what we do not want. So this last lesson, I'm going to teach you guys how to stop their plan. How do we stop their plan? Well, they want to play bishop c5. And how can we stop them from playing this? We can do it indirectly by playing the move bishop g4. And the reason this stops the plan is because now if they were to play bishop c5, let's just go back here. If they play bishop c5 in this position, well, of course, we could simply take the bishop. Because now if knight recaptures, the queen would hang. So we can stop their attack by removing basically the defender, by indirectly attacking the defender. Because now when they play, like I said, they cannot do it or they would lose their queen. So now they play this move h4 or h5, and they're simply trying to just take my bishop or make my bishop move. But now what we do, and this is the part that makes this hard to understand, is now you actually take the knight. And the reason you take the knight, I'm going to pull this up into an analysis here. The reason that you take the knight in this position is because now after queen captures, they no longer have the move bishop c5. So their bishop stays pretty bad. Meanwhile, your bishop is pretty strong, and they can never achieve their plan. They can never play bishop c5. Bishop c5 is also strong because our king is on the same diagonal. There's no pawn here on f2, and because of that, our king is on the same diagonal, so a move like bishop c5 would be very, very strong for them. Now the game may continue with something like queen c4, and as you guys can see by what I have on the board here, the plan is very simple. You're simply going to move your rooks over here. You vacate the square of f1 from your queen to allow the rook to come over to f1 to attack this pawn, and we just have a ton of pressure on this pawn here on f7. And as you can tell, black no longer has their plan of playing the move bishop c5 because we prevented it. And now we have an even stronger control over bishop c5 too as well with a move like queen c4. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you found this content pretty helpful, please consider giving it a like. It helps promote the video. It means a lot to me, and your comments mean a lot to me too. If anything was not clear, please let me know in the comments. If you like this video, please let me know in the comments as well. And I'd love to have you guys if you want to subscribe or consider some of the chess coaching we have or the channel memberships if you want to support this channel. Thank you guys so much for watching.